This is Mr. Fernandez coming at you. Today we learned a little bit about what school is going to look like for the next 2 weeks. Uh, Not a whole lot, there's still some details that are missing, but we do have much better understanding of what will actually take place over the next 2 weeks. So I'm going to show you here the newsroom. So this is from the Ontario government. And this is basically what the press conference today was all about. And it's called Learn at Home. So that's what you will be doing over the next 2 weeks for the most part. Uh, there's a couple of important words to pull out of here. Let me just find them for you. Here, your competencies and skills are reinforced. So the important thing to remember is that for these 2 weeks, the purpose is not necessarily to learn new stuff. You're not necessarily going to push your learning. It's to make sure you don't have what's called a learning loss, where during these 2 weeks, if you don't do anything, then you could lose some of the skills that you have developed at the beginning of the course, that foundation that is necessary for you to succeed. So the purpose of the Learn at Home is really to make sure that you don't lose anything and that your skills stay the same. So where do you go for that? Well, go to Google, you type in www.ontario.ca/learn at home, and you search, and it should be the very first one, and you click it, and it brings you to this page here, Learn at Home, where you can find resources for elementary, that would be grades kindergarten to grade 8, and secondary students, that would be high school, 9 to 12, to practice math and literary skills and learn at home. Important to remember, these materials do not replace what students have been learning at school. Okay, that's important to remember. So if your teachers have given you something, that is your priority. The Learn at Home is not the priority. So we go down, we have elementary, secondary, and parents, guardians, or caregivers. So let's click on the secondary one. And TVO Mathify is for some support online, and you can see that it's available Monday to Friday, 9 to 9, and Sunday from 3:30 to 9 p.m. To give you a little bit of help with math. This is where you'll probably end up going, high school courses, keep up with your studies. Hit close because you don't really need to read that. And here are all the different courses that you can look at. So we have science, grade 9 applied. We have English, grade 9 academic. We have math, grade 10 applied. So you can go through and find a course that you're enrolled in that you want to supplement. You can see a bunch of them are still coming soon because this will probably take a little bit of time for materials to be loaded up. And something else to remember is that not all courses are on here. So for example, the grade 10 civics course is nowhere to be found. So my lovely civics students, you have to do my work. So let's click on one. Let's say we go to the English grade 10 applied. And so for a lot of you in the ESL EO course, that's the class that I'm teaching, this would probably be where I would recommend you go if you want to do some extra work. So you have the different units, and you can click on, for example, Unit 1, what do games mean to us? And you can choose Activity 1 or Activity 2 or Activity 3. And it walks you through what you're going to do. So it says, first thing, think about a game that you either play right now or a game that you used to play. This could be a game like hide and seek or hockey or a video game like Mario Kart. So I used to play Mario Kart all the time as a kid, and I still play it as an adult because it's an amazing game. So let's use that as an example. So the games we play, identify the game you play or used to play. Mario Kart. If it's a game you used to play, what did you like about it? Well, what I liked about it was that it was multiplayer, it was innovative, it was very competitive, and it wasn't overly long. Why don't you play it now? Well, I do play it now. I've just played the newer version. And then if it's a game you currently play, you would answer this question here. So you follow through, and it's very, very straightforward. You read the instructions, and so it does actually give you some theory behind it. So it talks about what you should do before listening. So set up a purpose for your listening. Is it to enjoy it? Is it to be informed? Why are you listening to the video or the podcast or whatnot? Activate some background knowledge. What do you already know about the subject on which you're going to be listening? and then make some predictions. What do you expect to hear in this? So what information do you think you're going to get? And so this is actually great because it lays out how you're supposed to do these things. And then you actually listen to it. So you'd click on here, hit play, and then you do the after listening exercises. And then at the very end, you answer the questions at the bottom. Keep in mind that these are not necessarily marked by anyone, so you would have to reach out to your individual teachers to see if they are going to use this online learning tool, either as a way to supplement what they're already doing or in replace of what they're already doing. For my class, you already have all of your work for the next, for the next 2 weeks. So if you are going to use Learn at Home, it's because you want to do extra work. It's not to replace the work that I've already assigned you. The work that I've already assigned you, you have that, you know when it's due, and I'm going to be trying to create videos throughout the week that will explain different things I want you to go over. Another important thing with the government's announcement, and this, I have no idea how it's going to be carried out, but where did it go? Here. For students who do not have access to a computer, work is underway with school boards to provide the necessary technology to everyone who needs it. Apparently, the province is looking at making sure every student has the appropriate technology. I have no idea how that's going to happen, no idea how it's going to look. That's just what they've said. Another thing to remember, EQAO tests, so that's the math test, that's the literacy test, and if you're in grade 3 or grade 6, those tests as well, they are all canceled for this year. So there will be no EQAO testing throughout this school year. If you are in grade 12 and you were supposed to write the literacy test this year so that you could graduate, you no longer need to write it and you will still be allowed to graduate. Okay, so just remember, no more EQAO testing for this school year. They will start up again next year. And that's really all the important stuff I would say about what's happening with the learning for the next 2 weeks. If the closures do extend beyond the current closure date of April 5th, the province has said they will have more robust, which is more enhanced online learning available for students. Do I know what that looks like? Absolutely not. Do I have plans for my classes? Absolutely, I do. So whatever the province provides us or whatever direction, I will integrate that into what we are currently doing. As for other teachers, I don't know. You would need to reach out to them individually because there is no definitive direction for teachers. So how I do things is correct, and how the other teachers are doing it should also be correct because there's no official guidelines on how we are supposed to ensure your educational requirements are met. So step one, I would say reach out to your individual teachers. Step two, if you want to do more learning, push yourself a little bit more, make sure your skills are still on par, then go to the Learn at Home and use those tools. And as a side note, if you know or if you have a friend that you know doesn't have technology and you're able to communicate with them, please let them know that apparently the province is looking at making sure they have the technology. And hopefully they will find more information about that soon. From my understanding, the school board is having a meeting Monday morning to get better direction. And so if anything changes or if I get more new details, don't be surprised if I create another video so that you can listen to that and hopefully understand it. If you have questions, as always, let me know. Send me an email, message me on Instagram. You know how to contact me. If you're in my class, and you can always post something in the Google Classroom. I'm very sorry that this semester seems to be all over the place, but we will do the best that we can. And the province is working very hard to make sure that the school year isn't lost. But as of now, the medical teams are saying April 5th is the closure date. Some jurisdictions are thinking it's going to be longer. Quebec is anticipating it will last at least until May. Alberta has said indefinitely, and some experts, not a lot, but some are saying right the way through summer. So when I find out more information, I will make sure to pass it along to you because there's a lot of different ideas. Right in there, where I explained the different experts, you have Quebec, Alberta, and different experts, three different groups all saying something different. All we know for definite is that schools are closed until April 5th. And when that changes, or if that changes, I will let you know. So just accept the information that we can accept for now, and the unknowns, the things that we don't know yet, just put from your mind because there's nothing we can do to change them. Okay? I hope your official March break has gone super well, and I guess get ready for school at home on Monday. I miss you all, and I can't wait to see you all again. Bye, everyone.